Welcome, Black Cajun Sports Show. We have hit the big time. I am here today with one of my new friends.
That's right.
I've gotten to know this guy over the past few months, and I've really been impressed. And it's really my pleasure to bring him to the Black Cajun Sports Talk Show and introduce him to all of you guys. He is the athletic director of Philadelphia's high major athletic program. Good afternoon, Dr. Kraft.
Dang right. It's great to be here. I love that intro. Good to be with you, man. I usually like to stay behind my behind closed doors, let our coaches and athletes, but when there's an opportunity to get on Black Cager, I'm not gonna miss that.
Man, look, man, it's a lot going on at Temple, and people see things in the newspaper, they hear about all this other stuff, and I said to myself, what's the best way to get the true scoop about what's going on and to bring it to the people? So I'm here. So we're gonna jump right into the questions. Here's the first question. I reference you as Philadelphia's high major athletic program.
Yep.
And I say that because that's what it is.
Absolutely.
And I know that. But I think that there are a lot of people in Philadelphia that really do not understand the level of competition in the American Athletic Conference. We kind of grew up on some other stuff.
Absolutely.
So what are you doing, the people in your office doing to let people know that Temple is high major and to build interest in these rivalries that are emerging in the American Conference?
Well, so I don't get into that mid-major, high-major stuff. You're absolutely right. I mean, we're one of the premier programs, premier departments on the East Coast, let alone across the country. You're not the fifth winningest basketball program in the history of college basketball.
Say that again.
The fifth winningest basketball program in the history of basketball, with two Hall of Fame coaches and a Don Casey who just went into our Hall of Fame last week, with NBA players like Macon and my man Aaron and Eddie and a long history, the Owl Without a Vowel. Mm-hmm. This whole talk, and it's really gone down the mid-major and high major. Look, we run ourselves to be the best as a department, not just basketball, to be the best we can possibly be. We talk about being great all the time, and everything we do is about being great. Different resources, different programs now, but resources does not make you great. And so from a basketball perspective, we've got everything we need right here. And we go against Connecticut, Wichita State, SMU's built a Memphis coming with Penny, Houston with Coach Calvin, who I know well from the Indiana days. These are historical programs, are great programs. I think there is a narrative that, when the Big East kind of broke up, the American, we're in year 5 of a new conference. I think people are starting to understand it. Football, you're starting to see the power in our football. And in basketball, you have these historic brands with new brands coming in. UCF's going to be really good this year. But we're proud of that. I mean, look, when UConn comes in, and that's a big game here. We talk about rivalries.
Men's and women's.
Oh shoot! I mean, the women, it's a sellout right away, and I think that is coming, but it's just good basketball. Now, the national landscape's we've got to do better. Admittedly, we've got our traditional powers. We at Temple have to own that. We got to continue to do and grow and become a better, get better and better each year. But I'm excited about who we are and what we're about. I will never apologize for being in the American Athletic Conference.
Look, man, you mentioned that resources don't make you a high major. Well, to some extent, I would disagree. I've been involved with a couple young fellas from Philly recently, and I actually sat in here while he visited with you, and I had an opportunity to see what Seton Hall has to offer up close. I've seen what Penn State has to offer up close. I've seen what Maryland has to offer up close. I've seen South Carolina up close. Temple University is right there, and you have a state-of-the-art. It's not old, it's not new. The Leah Court Center is a very, very fine basketball
arena. It's a big-time basketball
especially
arena.
Especially on campus.
Yep.
Especially
and it hums when
on campus.
it's rocking.
So how do we get people in the surrounding Philadelphia area, over in Camden, New Jersey, down in Wilmington, to come and experience a day in Temple athletics?
Well, I would agree with you. I think what we have, I'm very proud of our facilities. I'm proud of what we've done. If you match what we have, now look at we don't have the waterfall in the locker room but I tell you what, we have everything that an athlete would ever want, or everything an athlete needs. I think the issue with Temple is we at Temple don't do a good job of waving the flag, and that irritates the heck out of me. We have gotten so much better at doing that as a university, as a department. I always say we bow down to nobody. We will be aggressive. We will go after everybody, but we will do it the right way. We will not waver in that regard. But our student athletes have everything everybody else has. And there will be differences in cost of attendance. There's differences in cost of attendance to those that are paying the full rate, whether you're at Penn State, you're at Pitt. So yeah, you're always going to be able in the recruiting process to find little ways that there's an advantage. At the end of the day, our experience for our student athletes here is as good as anybody in the country. We take care of our kids like nobody else. You're going to get a degree. You're going to get a job. You're going to be around a family that loves you through good, through bad, through just the regular everyday life. That's high major, man. And our facilities are banging. Our facilities are great, and we're not done. I'm working right now on nutrition centers for all of our sports. We're looking at renovating our men's basketball, which is fairly new right now.
Yes.
You go in our football complex, it's as good as anywhere.
You're renovating the
one that just has been done a few years. We're looking to enhance.
So we are in a true arms race. Now, for those who don't know, Pat's a football guy.
I played football.
You can figure this out.
I played
everything
football.
about him is a football guy.
Yeah.
And his football experience was at the University of Indiana. So while he was there, he got to observe up close and personal one of the legendary, great basketball programs in the history of college basketball at Indiana University. How do you compare the environment, the culture, the milieu that surrounds Indiana basketball in the state of Indiana with Notre Dame, Purdue, Indiana, with what you see here in Philadelphia with the Big Five?
Oh, that's a really good question. I think Indiana is this, if you're comparing the Big Five to Indiana University's basketball program, they're actually very similar. The passions for the Big Five resonate throughout. I think everybody, when I was at Loyola Chicago, we tried to create, we always talked about creating a Big Five, like what's here in Philadelphia. But the two passions of the two are very similar. People live and breathe Indiana basketball in the state of Indiana. And even as an alum, I'm very proud of the Indiana program. And Coach Knight was there when I was there, and it was very similar to Coach Chaney, who was here. And we're blessed to have Coach who's still engaged, and we talk to and we get to see him every once in a while, which is awesome. But I think when you look at Philly basketball, bro, that is hard to duplicate anywhere. And if you ask a lot of college basketball coaches across the country, that's special here. Aaron and I were just talking about it. Like, you go into St. Joe's, that's a war. That is a tough place to play. I just did a tour with Mark at Nova and what they've done in their with their facility and renovations. But man, you go to the Palestra and play Penn, that's a war, and that's what makes this special. And I think that piece makes Philly and the Big Five, especially in the basketball community, so very special and so important and unique to our history, but the history of all the schools. Do I want to win the Big Five every year? Absolutely.
That was my next
question.
I want to win? Does it matter to you? Does the Big Five matter to the athletic director at Temple University?
It made me sick to do the tour with Mark, to watch what they did in their building. Okay. And I love Mark. He's a buddy of mine, and I respect what they do in the suburbs of Philadelphia up there. But I will tell you right now, I'm a competitor, and we're all competitors, and we've built this department on being great, and so we want to win every game. I want to beat everybody that comes in front of us, and our coaches and our athletes believe in that. And so that's and look they've done a nice job. I mean, they've raised the bar, and I give them all the credit in the world. But you look at that, and I don't know. I don't think you could be successful in this business if you don't got your blood going about what your competitors are doing. That's real.
Okay. We have Litwack, Casey, Chaney, Dunphy, and now Aaron McKee covered.
Yep.
I think we're covering like 67 some odd years right there.
Yeah.
It's only been 5.
Think
changes.
about that.
Yes. So that I think that goes to, a lot of the reasons why you can say you're the 5th, 6th winningest program.
5th.
In the 5th winningest program in the history of college basketball. So let's talk a little bit about your expectations for this year's team and then your expectations for the program going forward once the change in the coaching takes place.
I'm excited about this team. I love all our athletes, and I love this group. I like the continuity of the group. I think the 4, sophomores have. I was over there the other day. Have taken that next leap, which is critical. Q's going to have to play. He's a pro. He's going to play. He has to play at a pro level. 31 games and then some in the tournament. Shiz is my man. I love Shiz Austin. His dad and his family are the best. He's a Philly kid. He's critical. You need that senior leadership. And Big Earn has grown like no one I've seen here. I can't say enough about the character of these guys. They're going to fight. They got a little edge to them, which I love. I like the lineup that we're going to have. We've got. There's going to have to. I believe we're going to have to go small for a little bit. And when we beat Wichita State in our building, that was a good lineup for us. And so I think we're athletic. I know Nate brings a lot of energy.
Postseason.
Every season. That's the expectation, period.
Period.
And every coach here knows it. We that's it. That's the postseason. That's what we're focused on. Then you get in and then let's go make a run. I'm here to go to a Final Four. That's why I'm here.
Say that again.
I am here to go to a Final Four. I'm here to win a national championship. Yeah. Yes. I am here.
Coach Chaney it was first and goal from the 1 about 5 times.
Oh, man.
And he couldn't get.
With some great teams. And, look at that point, when you get to that point, and we all know it, the ball goes one way and the other, but you got to give yourself a chance. And Coach Chaney always gave us a chance.
Yes, he did.
To get there. And, I think you'll see that. I mean, these guys are there is a chip on their shoulder, and there should be. And they're a passionate bunch. I think what you'll see with the transition, Fran and Aaron have been great working together. I love Fran. He is as good a person there is on this planet Earth. I think Aaron is this. I know Aaron is the same person like that. Aaron's got some dog in him. I tell him, hey man, you need to get that dog out and go. And but
he's a true gentleman though.
Unbelievable. And he and I have built a really strong relationship, and I value that more than anything. I value the man.
Yes.
Because he and I will talk, and I'll push him, and then he'll push me back in a way to like, hey, let's do this and let's do that, and we talk almost every day. And it's like he's building the program right in front of me in his head. What he wants to do. He's had all of these great experiences around great coaches, around great mentors. Mm-hmm. But you know what he told me? He's like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to take pieces, but I'm going to do it my way. That's all you can ask for. And so he gets to sit and watch Fran coach, I don't know if there's anyone better from X's and O's, from Dumpf, and how he handles that. And then he gets to put his twist on it and his flavor to this. And that's what I think people are going to be really excited.
When I was 15, 16, 17, 18 years old, and I'm from Darby Township, right over by the airport, 15 minutes from here. I honestly thought, I'm not making this up, I thought that Temple and Georgetown were historically black colleges.
I've heard that from a lot of people.
I really did, because of the basketball program. Because you guys had John Chaney at the forefront, Georgetown had John Thompson at the forefront. Pretty much all. Mike Vrieswijk, I'm not forgetting about you. And Ramon Reebok. But for the most part, most of the players were black guys and from around here.
Yeah, local.
Is how important is that to you to reestablish that frame of mind where Temple is Philly's basketball team? We know what they're doing up on the main line. God bless them.
Absolutely.
Whatever. But I want to see Temple return to the place where people think of it along the lines of what Penny is doing in Memphis.
Yeah. Yeah, he's doing it. I think that is a part of it, because, and it's a little bit about our founder, Russell Conwell, where there are diamonds in your own backyard. Mm-hmm. And I think right now we have to do a better job of explaining all that Temple offers. where Temple can't just be, it's where I go for AU practice or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
No, this is special. And what's happening, and I get it, people wave shiny things in front of student athletes to say, well, we can do this and we can do that and we can frame the story that way, and then they go there and they're like, oh wait, that's not real. We are real in our recruiting process. We tell you what we're going to give you. We deliver on everything we give you. We do it the right way, and I think that over time will impact the Philadelphia area. But if you can get the kids out of Philly, you're going to a Final Four.
I can give you a firsthand experience and a prime example of what you're talking about. About 5 or 6 years ago, a young lady from Holy Cross High School over in New Jersey. She's coming to my office every day. She's little. I had never seen her play, but we became friends because she was just working really hard to get eligible. And I kept saying, you sure you good enough? You sure you kind of small? And I think after this year, she may end up your all-time leading scorer. I mean, she's way up there. Aaliyah Butts.
It's one of my favorites of all time.
She has had a phenomenal career, and all she did was cross the bridge from over in South Jersey and come over to Temple. So
it's there and it's here, but we've got to continue to push. You've got to continue. People have to understand what we have. And I don't think we've done a really good job of that. I mean, we have to look in the mirror. It's not always, look at other people do a really good job of selling it and recruiting.
Yes.
And I will always tell our staff, what are we doing? Are we doing it? We don't waver on doing it the right way. And that's unquestionably the most important thing. But how do we go out and get people to understand everything that we have, that we are the full student athlete experience from career to academics to, how they live their life. I mean, talk to Trey Lowe. I mean, that's as tragic of a situation. Trey drops 20-some on Villanova and then gets in a single. I mean, it's just sad, but he's here and he's part of our program. He's getting his degree, and there's value to Trey far more than just hitting a jump shot. Mm-hmm. Trey's a great kid from a great family, and so that's who we are. We are family. One, we are all the way. You talk about Aaliyah. I've got my great sports stories. We're at Cameron Indoor. And she is going off in the NCAA tournament, and she hits a three, and she winks at me. I'm sitting courtside. She hits another three, and she points at me. I'm like, I love this girl. She is just a straight killer. Straight killer. And but she's, another one, getting her degree. She had an injury and didn't set her back one bit. And so, Tanya, she's now recruiting. That team, our women's basketball team, is special now. And she's got a great group of student athletes there.
The bar is high in the American.
What USF's done, and Tanya and USF going toe to toe, and you've got arguably the greatest women's program ever in your conference. But I think that's who we are, and we just got to do. I think when you talk locally, but I will also say this: we won't take great players from wherever they are. Mm-hmm. We're going to build a great team, and these ratings are great. I get it. They weren't around when I got recruited. But you need players that fit your culture, fit your system, and you need to be able to just look at it in its totality of who a great person is and bring those kids in. And if it takes time for Philadelphia kids to understand it, that's great. But we're not. We're going to keep going, and we're going to keep moving.
I'm going to change directions for the last question. I appreciate your time here. But while I have the athletic director for Philadelphia's high major athletic department here, I would be remiss if I didn't ask you this question for my friends. There are I could probably count 30 guys that I know of in and around Philadelphia who would like to get involved in coaching in college. So what would your advice be to a young man looking to break in? If you're advising, say, Aaron about making that hire for video guy, for graduate assistant, for ops guy, or the same on the women's side, or with football, they need graduates. What are the characteristics? What are the qualities? What are the backgrounds that an athletic director such as yourself would expect to see of these entry level hires?
I think it's no matter who we hire, you got to have you got to be a quality person. You've got to trust for me in this department is paramount. I got to be able to trust you no matter what it is.
Going into people's homes, representing Temple.
Everything. How you're going to be in practice, how you're going to be in people's homes, how you're going to be out in the streets, and how you're going to be out when you're out with your wife or your husband or your whatever. That's important. You got to understand, I don't want people who are going to just take second best, sit back. We are an aggressive group here. And I want people who are creative. And that's creative from the video guys to marketing to compliance. We have to find ways to create excellence. And I need go-getters, basically. And you need that energy across the board because our students feed off it. We are all mentors for the 500-plus student athletes we have here. And so when you look at the full person
how many sports?
We got 19 sports, 500-plus student athletes at various venues. And so, that's our vocation, to make sure that those 500 young men and women are prepared to move on. And so everybody plays a role in that. So when I look at it, now I don't get involved in assistant coaching hires. I mean, I hire the head coach, I deal with the head coach. You got to make that call. But when we look at people who are involved in our organization, that's paramount. You got to be a good person. You got to be trustworthy. You got to have energy. You got to bring it every single day. This is a grind here, and a grind that we love. We live off that grind. But you better be ready and willing to take it, accept it, and roll with it. And so what I would tell everybody is get involved somehow. Get in front of Dumpf and even all the coaches in this area, because they all give back. And find a mentorship. Come to practice. See how they do it. It's like any other job. People got to know you to get in. And I think the more you do that, then it's quicker to get in. And people want to be like, oh, I should be the first assistant. That's just not how it works.
Just get in.
Get in.
And prove yourself.
Prove yourself. And boy, you hard work and you'll move.
Notice.
They will notice. I'm a product of it. They will notice. Hard work,
How'd
effort.
you break in?
Well, boy, we don't have enough time.
Let me tell you Bruiser Flint's story.
Yeah, tell me.
Since he's at your alma
mater. Bruiser in Bloomington.
On one of my shows, he said Fang Mitchell at Coppin State paid him like $100-something a week to be as an assistant coach. No car,
right?
No nothing, and he had to sleep and live with the players. So he preaches exactly what you're preaching. You have to be willing to sacrifice to get in this business and build up.
You have to, and people want it quick. It doesn't happen quick. You've got to. Your work ethic will get you there faster than anything else. I mean, I talk to our coaches, some of our coaches who have left, and they're like, "Hey, man, should I look at this opportunity?" I say, "You take the eye off the ball now. You're not going to have that chance to get that opportunity. You have to stay focused on the job and the task at hand, and then you'll get there." But there is great people around Philly. I mean, look at the basketball in Philly is fantastic, and there's great mentors in this area, and I think they just need to get involved and be a part of it. And there's so many avenues in this area to do that. Not just the five of us, but you got great. Yes. Just talking about Girard College.
The Division II.
There's some great basketball being played and sports programs over the bridge at Rowan. I mean, there's a lot. So I think you have to go full all in and be patient.
Well, we appreciate your time. And one last question, man. You've been here, 5 years now?
Started 6.
And 3 as the AD?
4 now.
When somebody comes from out of town, from Indiana, and they want some authentic Philly food, man, where you take them?
So we do the terminal, the Reading Terminal is the go-to for us because you hit everything. But then I'll go down. I shouldn't say my favorite cheesesteak. I know that, but I do love. I just like going to Geno's. I love going down to Geno's. I love going. I'm a tourist. I know. I'm a tourist. I get it, but I love going for the environment around there. Yeah. Bro, that is special at night. Reminds me
of
an
okay cheesesteak.
The Knicks. I like the Knicks.
Yes.
I like the Knicks. I like Tony Luke's.
That's really good.
Tony Luke's is really, really good. We used to have a guy, Sean Patton, here, who's now at Baylor with Matt, and he would list the top 18 cheesesteaks. So I've gone to each of them. But to be honest with you, I've cut the cheesesteak out only on football trips because, bro, it's just not healthy.
It's not healthy. It's so Philadelphia.
But hey, bro, Philly food is no joke. I love me some Philly food.
Thank you, Dr. Kraft.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Always. Thanks, bro.